Hey guys, how are you doing today? I was just preparing to do a video for Patreon for the Miss Mensa videos and discussion tier, and also for the Cindy Watts, A Woman of Strength and Love tier. And I thought, let's go ahead and do a live chat. The live chat to the Patreon. So what I want to talk about today is, again, this is number 4, a little mini series titled Stop Abusing Cindy Watts. Because from what I've seen for 3 years straight, Cindy Watts is getting abused. And I think that she was probably used to being abused throughout her son's marriage to her daughter-in-law. Just my opinion. Video after video has been uploaded bashing Cindy Watts over and over again. And even before the scumbag attackers started in on YouTube, just look at those police interviews. Oh, she didn't go to the wedding. Oh, they never got along. Oh, his mom didn't like her. You know what? Bullshit. Oh, she was a bad person, evidently, because she said to her daughter-in-law that Cece needed to learn that she couldn't always get what she wanted. That's called good advice. If it was true, which I don't believe it was, that Cece was deathly allergic and severely anaphylactic to whether it was tree nuts or peanuts. I don't know. The verdict isn't in, right? And what's with having confusion over what a child is allergic to? If she's deathly allergic and severely anaphylactic, don't you think that everybody should be on the same page as to what it is exactly she was allergic to? Cindy Watts is terrible. Cindy Watts didn't like her daughter-in-law. Except she wasn't terrible. She treated her daughter-in-law very well. There were only 2 times that her daughter-in-law's behavior was absolutely unacceptable. So over the top, ridiculously unacceptable that Cindy Watts didn't take part. Would you have gone to the wedding? If your grandchildren were booted out of the bridal party, would you have attended the wedding if your daughter was booted out of the bridal party? If your future daughter-in-law was treating you like total dirt, would you have gone to the wedding? Here's a good answer from Tasha, Texas girl. Hell no. Cindy Watts didn't do anything wrong. Why on earth is anybody saying she didn't even go to the wedding? And that's about the tone they're using through their keyboards, right? She didn't do anything wrong. Why isn't anybody saying, wow, why was Bridezilla going over the top? And have you seen the photos from the wedding? If not, you should try to find them, although I think there have been a lot of things scrubbed in the last 3 years. I'm not going to say what it is that I want you to take a closer look at and see if you notice it. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you can find any of those wedding photos, take a closer look and ask yourself, whether or not you notice what I notice. Because to me, it's pretty glaring. I don't know. Do we all agree that Christopher Watts' wife was not a brunette? Well, it just seems kind of interesting to me. If you take a look at those photos of that wedding, and by the way, notice how many people are in attendance. Did you know that nobody went to the wedding? And when I say nobody, I mean from the Watts side, except for his grandmother and whoever drove her there. That was it. And I was told they were treated like shit. Exactly. Those girls loved Cindy. They loved her. They felt safe with her. And guess what? Christopher Watt's wife evidently loved her too. Because from where I'm sitting, it sure looks to me like she was trying to emulate her life. She was trying to emulate her mother-in-law's life. But sadly for her, I don't think she knew how. You know, I say this all the time. I'll say it again. Who did Christopher Watt's wife want taking care of Bella and Cece when they traveled? Her mother-in-law. Yes, Tasha, the hair. Notice the hair. So who's jealous of Cindy Watts? Who hates Cindy Watts? Who wants Cindy Watts to be attacked? Who encourages people to harass and attack Cindy Watts? Why is it that one person after another lined right up for law enforcement to say that Cindy Watts was bad? That was supposed to sound like a sheep, like a sheeple. And did you see the one of her quote unquote friends, her police interview? She's like, I'm not sure what her name is. Bullshit. I'm not sure what her name is. She's so irrelevant, I'm ad-libbing now. Or I'm actually stating what the inference is. If somebody says, I'm not sure what her name is. Tasha says, except to dance with him. So sad. Just like not many showed up to her bridal party she claimed was supposed to have 89 people. SW didn't have 80 friends. This is what I heard. There were 31 invitations, 26 people RSVP'd, and they were all family members. There were 5 who did not bother to RSVP. They were all friends. That's really interesting, I think, that you invite 5 friends to an event and all 5 of them failed to RSVP. Huh. So Christopher Watt's sister picked up the phone and called all 5 of the friends who failed to RSVP, like a good Southern woman knows to do. 4 out of the 5, or it might have been 5 out of 6, I'm not sure. But the majority, only one, said that she planned to attend. One friend said that she planned to attend. And I wonder if it was the friend who was later interviewed who said that the first time she met her was when she got married. They were friends, evidently, but they had never met. So is that how close the friendships were? Really? And the others said no, they had other plans. I mean, look at who she had in her bridal party. A woman who she babysat for. For what, 3 months? Where are her friends from high school? Where are her friends from her 20s? Where are her friends, period? And I'm not talking about the MLMers. I'm not talking about anybody who may have been a caregiver. I'm not talking about anybody who lined up after the tragedy to suddenly claim a close tie. I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting notifications on videos where people who are in that MLM, are all excited because they're evidently branching out to another country. Like, why are they excited? Seriously, I don't get it. What is so exciting about it? Are they going to hop on a plane and go there and sign up a few people? Like, really? In case they're watching, and in case they missed the memo, I want them to know that 99.9% of people who take part in those MLMs fail to ever see a penny of profit. 99.9%. I highly doubt that Christopher Watt's wife was in that little sliver of people who ever see a penny of profit with any product-based MLM. And I also highly doubt that any of her quote-unquote friends have ever seen a penny of profit either. In my opinion, Christopher Watt's wife was on disability for many years, and she worked at will when she felt like it in her 20s. And then once she met Christopher Watts, I think the word work left her vocabulary altogether. I think her work was conning Christopher Watts. I said it in the other live chat. I don't think she fell in love with Christopher Watts. I think she fell in love with his credit rating. I think she met him and figured, yeah, he'll do. I think by the time they went on their first date on August 10th of 2010, that she was already falling way behind, trying to keep up with the house. I think she was ready to bail. And she figured, well, she could tell him, that she's battling all sorts of huge, major, serious, fatal even diseases. He seems pretty gullible. He seems like a patsy. He seems dumb enough to fall for it. Hey, Star Mama. Brooke says, do you think the house SW bought at 25 was from all her hard work or attained through more nefarious means? I think it was attained through more nefarious means. I think that whoever filled out the paperwork, it's called the income verification form, probably didn't spill the beans about what was really going on. Tasha says, sick people get taken advantage of, I signed up for 3 to try and over. Yeah, don't sign up for MLMs. Yes, I think she was trying to get disability for the girls too. I think she was on disability for years. She knew how to work the system, and I think she knew dang well that asthma and, of course, familial Mediterranean fever was a sure way to get a little extra money in her monthly. Think about the organized campaign, though. Back to the Cindy Watts thing. It wasn't a year later. It wasn't 3 months later. It wasn't even a month later. She was getting bashed day one, and the bashing continues. When in fact, in my opinion, she's the classiest of the entire bunch. And you know what else? Abusers are liars, okay? Let's operate from that basic premise. Abusers are liars. Cindy Watts is honest. You see what I'm saying? Cindy Watts is the one getting abused over and over again by crappy channels, crappy people, scumbag attackers, all of them. They're told what to say. Well, who's telling them what to say? Who benefits? There's a word. Who benefits by trashing Cindy Watts repeatedly for 3 years straight? Who benefits? Who on earth on this planet hates her so much? And you know the storyline, the false narrative goes that people are just upset with her because of what she has said and done. Bullshit. She was being attacked long before she ever gave any interview. And I got news for you. In those interviews, she could have said a lot more. Oh, that's cool. I just made you guys bigger. Even if he wasn't an undiagnosed Aspie, he was a young guy, right? He was a young guy. I think she pretty much figured he'd be good enough. Do you guys believe that baloney? That he was like pursuing her on social media? I don't believe that for a second. Not for a second. I wonder how many of the MLMers are on disability. I wonder how many of the scumbag attackers are on disability. I wonder how many of the people who are attacking Cindy Watts are on disability. There's nothing wrong with being on disability, but I think it's an interesting common denominator. I think the use of Adderall is also interesting. And I think their claim that they have custody of their children when they don't is also very interesting. And I think that their claims that they've never done anything wrong, when in fact a lot of them have criminal records, abusing animals, abusing children, you know, that sort of thing, abusing drugs, abusing alcohol, whatever, abuse, abuse, abuse. Cindy Watts isn't the one with a criminal record. Sharon says, yeah, you're right, Tasha. He can't have seen them, as if he did, he wouldn't have even entertained banana. I agree. I believe she was abusing prescription drugs too. I was told that she was known as a seeker at the hospitals in North Carolina. Hi, Brenda. That's cute. Brenda's going to cancel her Saturday night plans to hang out with us. Well, don't go canceling your plans, silly girl. Star Mama, I agree with you. And I think when she was pregnant with Bella, that she had a total issue at the 32-week mark. And I do believe her posts about going to that hospital in Indiana in the spring of 2016. And you know what? If she didn't, then why on earth is she posting like that? Have you guys noticed how much has been scrubbed? You know, I get snarky comments from time to time, and they'll be like, give me the proof, send me the link, post the link, you know, for whatever, right? The last one I think was for the video where she's whispering, do you need a haircut? Well, you know what? The fact that so much has been scrubbed isn't my problem. Oh, I got to tell you something else, you guys. I heard part of a video today. A channel creator who popped on the scene, I don't know, a year ago, maybe even, I don't even think that long ago. And he's up there, you know, with his authoritative tone, you know. Well, yes, you see, you know, what we've seen happening, you know, people used to discuss the case, and now what's happening recently is people are having differing opinions. And bullshit. From day one, even before any discussions were going on, the attackers were organized and they were attacking. They were creating crap videos attacking innocent people who they were targeting. They tried from day one to silence discussion on this case. And there he sits, acting all hoity-toity, right? All knowing. He doesn't even have a clue what he's talking about. I'm so tired of these channel creators who have been around for like a year or less, who are like, yeah, I've been watching this for a long time. Well, guess what, buddy? You missed 2 years worth. Maybe that's why so many of them are still saying NK, because they missed the part back in 2018 when everything about the NK stuff was totally debunked. Did you see the one where the banana was saying how she has done so much for the Watts? Have you seen the one where KK has said she has, you know, also she's all about the Watts, right? What did either one of them ever do for the Watts? Anything? Anything at all? Star Mama, that's a good point. If they're watching the video of poor little Bella getting water in her face and they don't see something wrong with that, then they may want to consider, I guess, whether or not they're living in an abusive home environment. You guys, the banana and KK both were involved right at the start. They're all part of the first little group of people who sat around going, he, how can we control this? He, what can we do? Don't you think it's weird, though, that right when a lawyer was offering to help pro bono, that's when, according to KK, that Christopher Watt's sister contacted her and said to start working, I guess, working the group? I'm talking within 24 hours. So what's that about? Didn't Christopher Watt's sister want him to be helped? Exactly, Brooks. Exactly. Let's see, there's dairy, there's meat and protein, right? Oh, and don't forget the food group called marshmallows. Good point, Tasha. Gluten. Maybe it was like her lupus. Maybe her gluten intolerance disappeared. Maybe her MLMs cured her of her gluten intolerance on certain days. Just like her lupus, it was kind of an on-call disease, you know, in remission when she said so. Star Mama says, I saw SW pinch one of the girls and leave a mark on her inner leg. She wouldn't sit still for her video. Well, guess what, guys? That's abuse. If you're going to pinch your child to get them to do exactly what you want them to do, if you're going to pinch them enough that it leaves a mark, that's not just playing, tickling, whatever. If you're going to pinch your child in order to gain compliance, that's called abuse. Exactly. Cindy defends herself. Big deal. And I've never heard Cindy say terrible things about other people either. Well, a few things in private, but I've never heard her go public saying terrible things or get people to say terrible things about other people. Well, I personally believe that Bella and Cece should have been removed from that home long before the tragedy. CK and the Banana just did an interview with Cindy about KK. I didn't hear it because it was Patreon. I refused to pay CK. I highly doubt Cindy would have given an interview to CK. I highly doubt it. That would surprise me. Is it me, or did she seem to bully Bella more than Cece? I think she bullied Bella. Well, I don't call it bully. When it's a parent to a child, I call it abuse. I think she abused Bella more than Cece. Dean says the dead cannot defend themselves. Well, how do you think Cindy Watts is supposed to defend herself? She's alive. So what's your answer, Dean? How is Cindy Watts supposed to defend herself from the onslaught of scumbag attackers attacking her character, committing defamation, committing slander, committing libel, harassing her? How do you think she's supposed to defend herself? Please answer the question. We're all looking at you, waiting for your answer. Everybody look at Dean. I don't think Cece was her favorite. I think Bella was just the oldest and probably harder to control. And I don't mean like jumping on the sofa. What I mean is Bella could talk. Who puts their kids to bed at 6:30? Who puts their kids to bed at 6:30 with Tylenol and Benadryl? Dean, we're waiting for your answer. How is Cindy Watts supposed to defend herself? Nina says, that's a great question, Miss Mensa. Oh, here's Dean's answer. Okay, let's go. Dean says, my answer is that Cindy Watts has nothing to do with this. What? She is totally innocent of any involvement. I defend Cindy Watts because she has been dragged in to horror and has nothing to deserve. Okay, well, when you just posted that the dead can't defend themselves, then will you answer, how can Cindy defend herself? She's alive. So I think what you're inferring is that because the dead can't defend themselves, that nobody should say anything at all about the dead, right? Which I guess would empty out the history books pretty quick. right? So that would mean that when Mary Winkler went on trial and she was talking about the abuses that she suffered in her marriage before she murdered her husband, then she shouldn't be able to say that because he wasn't there to defend himself, right? Or when Susan Wright was on trial and she testified about all the abuses she suffered in her marriage, well, she shouldn't be able to say that, right? Because her husband was dead and he can't defend himself, right? Is that what you're saying? Exactly, Nina. I agree. Cindy has only ever spoken the truth. She also kept cutting her hair, evidently. Remember, do you need a haircut? I don't know. Have you guys ever pulled your daughter's hair so tight in a ridiculous looking Pebbles pony? With those videos being taken over the course of time, right? Why is it that they always had that same Pebbles pony routine going? It's just like the manicure. Why didn't they ever change it up? You know, the people who say that this is all fake, those would be the two clues I would think, is that the girls had the same hairstyle the whole time and that the manicures never got changed up. And they were outdated as all get out, let me tell you. Jessica Lynn says victimology is crucial to cases to get an understanding of how and why the crime occurred. Exactly. Star Mama says Cindy is a victim just as much as the ours. She loved her grandchildren and her daughter-in-law, whether people think so or not. Okay, wait. Here's Dean again, but I missed it. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Dean says, what I am trying to say is that you can destroy the character of someone who cannot defend themselves. How on earth can anybody destroy the character of somebody? Seriously. I am not saying Cindy Watts is bad, but her son is. Exactly. We're discussing videos that she posted online. You're damn right we're going to discuss it, and you're damn right we're going to speak the obvious. You want to know why, Dean? Because we care about what Bella and Cece suffered through. There's actually something kind of righteous about all that. Kind of noble, kind of pure. We don't dance around the facts, okay? We don't dance around. If somebody has a criminal record, they have a criminal record, okay? If somebody treated her daughters like shit right on videos and put them online, we're going to say so. If somebody claimed they were making tons of money, but they couldn't pay their bills and they had a whole bunch of product stacking up in the basement, stockpiling in the basement, we're going to say so. Stacks of credit cards. Stacks of product. Due in court for unpaid bills. They didn't even own a car. She didn't make the house payments for how many months? Oh, and you remember she was a retired nurse, right? No, she wasn't. That was a lie. And you remember she went to nursing school, right? Really? Because we checked. And that nursing school that she said she was accepted into didn't offer the program she said she was in. Oh, she made a lot of money on her house. No, she didn't. She lost money. How many lies do we have to hear before we think, she's a liar? And when can we stop caring? Seriously. When can we stop caring? Caring. I'll slow down. When can we stop caring about all of the boohoo bullshit because we happen to notice all of the lies? You think she had lupus, fibro, endo, fertility issues? gluten intolerance. What about the girls having familial Mediterranean fever? I don't even think they had asthma, and I do not believe they had allergies. Nope, don't believe it. That's a good point, Tasha. There are many of us in the true crime community, the actual true crime community, discussing the case of Christopher Watts, who are absolutely offended by the bullshit that we've been told about this case. Offended. Oh, Christopher Watts' wife did more than 90% or 95% of the other women out there. No, she didn't. She sat on her ass while her children were being taken care of by the daycare center and her husband was at work. She sat on her ass. She sat on her ass more than 90 or 95% of the other women out there. She lied. She harassed people on social media. Remember the people who appeared up on our panel who were harassed by her. One man told us that they had to change their phone numbers. His wife suffers from lupus. She actually has lupus. And they had to change their phone numbers because she refused to stop harassing them. Well, I'm glad we finally solved the mystery of what it was exactly that she did more than 95% of the other women out there. She sat on her ass more. Dean says, what turned people against Cindy Watts is her support of her son. That is not true, Dean. That is not true. They were attacking Cindy Watts day one. There was an organized attack against Cindy Watts from day one. That's part of the bullshit narrative, that people are against her because of that. No, they're not. She's been getting attacked from day one. Tasha makes the point that wow, the neighbor's shooting guns, and I just heard a loud one. Tasha makes a good point about the offense, really, the offensive nature of somebody claiming to have all those diseases when there are actual people actually suffering from those diseases, right? It is offensive. Jolly Big Chick says, in reality, most women are just like Christopher Watts' wife. That isn't true. If those are the people in your life, get new friends. Seriously. That's right. I forgot about that. Christopher Watts' wife made $500,000 a year. Star Mama says, if you put SW on top as this perfect everything and hide the facts, you are supporting a false narrative. Correct. I agree with you. I agree. Her whole life was a lie. That's my opinion also. Princess says, I have fibromyalgia and I have endometriosis. No way did she have them. I'm infertile from endo, and she had her first baby, Bella, within 4 months. And there are many people claiming that Bella was not her first baby. She was fertile Myrtle. 4 months after marrying Christopher Watts, she was pregnant. And then when little Bella was just 10 months old, she was pregnant again. So when did she get those fertility treatments exactly? What did they do? Go into the specialist and say, hi, we've only been married for a few months, but we really want to, go through all the testing and go through, paying all the big money. And we really want to go through the whole process to get pregnant right away. Any fertility specialist is going to tell her, well, after you try to get pregnant for a year minimum, then come back and see me. Dean says, as a resident of England, I guess I don't have much right to comment of U.S. issues, but the murders affected a lot of people throughout the world. Not really, Dean. I've been doing the true crime thing on social media for 13 years, and I write books on true crime cases. The case of Christopher Watts is one of the least popular. We just think it's popular in this little corner on YouTube because there are so many channel creators trying to rake in whatever by pretending like they're discussing the case. But they're not really discussing the case. They're discussing each other. Right, Star Mama, remember they spent $25,000 for that 4-month fertility issue. Exactly. They won't even treat you until after 1 year, at least. Minimum 1 year. They might give you a few hints, take your temperature, figure out when you're ovulating, that sort of thing. But please, fertility issues, my butt. No way. And how many times do you have to get lied to before you start getting pissed? How many times? I mean, all the people with their praying hands and strings of hearts, if they want to support somebody who is a liar, I guess that's on them. If they want to support somebody who pinched her daughter to tell her to do a certain thing, enough, according to Star Mama, that left a bruise, if they want to support somebody who was dousing her daughter in the face with water and laughing at her, totally humiliating her, and saying, haha, this is why we had kids. If that's who they want to support, that's on them. Shame on them. Shame on them for not being adult enough to enter into a discussion on a case where 2 innocent children were murdered in what should have been the safety of their own home. Shame on them for not putting Bella and Cece first. But of course, they weren't put first when they were alive either, were they? Because their mother got right on social media. She broadcasted it to the world that she just gave the girls lots of Tylenol. That's called medical abuse. Because we still haven't learned what dose exactly lots of Tylenol really is. Is this Amber Time the Amber Time? I'll go ahead and read the comment, but please answer the question, Amber Time. Amber Time says, does SW lying about medical issues, pregnancies, not being a nurse, lying about bills and money, being on Facebook and supposedly being the worst mom wife on the planet mean she has to die? What a ridiculous question. Sorry, it is. You can join the discussion if you want, but you can save your little virtue signaling, leave it at the door. We don't fall for your crap here. But please do answer the question. Oh, wait, here you are. I've never commented here before. Not sure what you mean. Are you the Amber Time who is the dancer or the self-proclaimed dancer with the husky voice? Star Mama says, If people focused on those two beautiful girls and forgot the drama, some major changes in our YouTube community could save other children's lives. Exactly right. At least on this channel, we do put Bella and Cece first. Tamara says, I think Cindy has a beautiful heart. I think so too. And here you go, Amber Time. I'll leave it up there so you can have a chance to read it for yourself too, but I'll go ahead and read it out loud. OMG, Amber. Nobody has ever said she deserved to die. Did I get the voice inflection right? I'm thinking maybe. Yes, that's what I'm wondering, Sammy, if that's the same Amber, but she isn't answering, so I'm kind of thinking, oh, wait. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Y-O-U-R. Yeah, okay. All righty then. Hope I have no idea what you're talking about. There, I just blocked her. I'm sorry, but if you're going to say I have no idea what you're talking about and spell it Y-O-U-R while you're reciting the false narrative, yeah, you're getting blocked. Brenda wants to know if we ever found out what the CPS case was about. Well, this is what I've been told. I've been told that in December of 2016 that the hospital actually reported her, that there were some issues, and that from that point forward, the children were part of a family plan. We've also been told by a family member that one of the court hearings coming up shortly after the tragedy was for, quote, an ongoing family matter. And personally, in my opinion, I don't think Christopher Watts was leaving his wife for any girlfriend. I think he was choosing Bella and Cece over his wife, and I think it pissed her off to no end. Exactly. Shiners always say that she didn't deserve to die. Hi, Mrs. Fluffer. Nope. What I was told is that it was an incident in December of 2016 when both girls were hospitalized. They were ready to go home to be discharged, and all of a sudden they were both very, very ill, with Bella receiving a much higher dose of whatever it was that made the children very, very ill. I was told that the family plan restricted access to the children. Yes, the Curious Case of CW is an excellent one. She did all the research for the first year. Not all of the research, but she did a ton of research for me the first, 6-8 months or whatever. She's great. I kept trying to get her to create a YouTube channel, but she did the blog instead, which was nice. A lot of people appreciate it. Have you not heard of that yet? Mrs. Fluffer says maybe she tried. No, I don't think so. I think she wanted them sick, actually. It was my take on what they were saying to me. I think she wanted them sick. They were set to be discharged, and I think she wanted them to stay longer. I don't know if it's protecting her as much as it's pretty classic, actually. Pretty classic behavior. It takes people a long time to, decipher all the, I would say, to peel away the layers of the onion. It takes a long time. Princess says, I just wish the truth would come out. Well, Princess, you must not be aware that we're never going to know the truth. We're told that we will never know the truth because we're told that they don't tell people like us. Well, I think if both kids are in the hospital, I think that's a pretty good, marketing stunt. I don't know. Dean says, you're suggesting that SW may have had Munchausen by proxy? Prince says, I think we will know, and I think that many of us already, I think there are many people who do know the truth, is how I'll say it. I think the question is whether or not Christopher Watts will ever be in a position where he can safely and freely speak the truth. DG's more polite than I am. She says, yes, Dean, she was Munchausen by proxy to the nth power, or to the 10th power. Should I read that again? I think I will. DG says, yes, Dean. Christopher Watts' wife was Munchausen by proxy to the 10th power. Nina says she absolutely had MBP. Tasha, I already booted her. She was one of the worst scumbag attackers of all, let me tell you. Tasha says, indeed, 100%. Trying to scroll up and I just keep highlighting stuff. Exactly, Star Mama. And they keep trying, right? They keep trying with the same lies. Disgusting. I think they want us to feel some sort of shame or blame or whatever because we're actually discussing the facts of the case. There is no shame or blame in advocating for 2 children and for every child because, like Star Mama said before, if we can learn from this case, from our discussions on this case, on the obvious, right? If we can learn and what we're able to dig in and learn could help promote awareness even just for one child to be protected, then guess what? That is a noble and pure cause. So for anybody who's lurking in the background going, oh, Miss Mence is bashing Christopher Watts' wife, kiss it. Kiss it and do a little reframe for yourselves, okay? Because what we're doing here on this channel is we are against child abuse. Do you hear me? We are against child abuse. And in our opinion, in most of our opinion, of course, not everybody's, but in our opinion, Bella and Cece were not safe in their home, obviously. In my opinion, they should have been removed from that home long before the tragedy occurred. And in my opinion, Christopher Watts had a choice to make. I think he had to choose between staying with his wife without children or leaving his wife and being able to have custody of Bella and Cece. And I think she was catching on that he was choosing Bella and Cece over her. I think she was catching on that as soon as he got an apartment and got the hell out of there, that her entire facade would be absolutely obvious to the world. And I think it was a very shocking and frightening reality that she was facing. And I think she decided that she wasn't going to let it happen. Dean says, along these lines, you have to give people the chance to understand what you're saying. Oh, okay. I'm responsible for other people understanding what I'm saying. Got it. Got it, Dean. Thank you. I think we should all pause a moment just to make sure everyone has time to understand. Oh, wait. It's my live chat. I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Let's see. I just saw a name. Now I can't find it. Hold on. Let's see here. Yeah, the trolls must be. I know it. Lots of love to you too, Star Mama. Mrs. Fluffer says, when you give your kids meds when not sick every day, yeah. It's called medical abuse. If the Watts believed their grandkids were abused, why did they not intervene? How do we know they didn't? Princess says, MM is not picking on anyone. She is allowed her opinion, and I do not like child abuse. We all love the girls, beautiful Bella and Celeste, and even baby Nico. Mrs. Fluffer says it's MVP. If you don't see that, you're just as sick, in my opinion. Tamara says, I think she was sneaky, a liar, and a wonderful manipulator, and they all knew it. I don't even think she was that good of a manipulator, quite frankly. I think it was that obvious. Oh, I've got to have my juju juice so I can take the kids to the zoo because they're monsters. Really? Give me a 1 if you've ever taken your kids to the zoo without having to have juju juice. Here, I'll start us off. 1. How did we do it, ladies? How on earth did we do it? Without full-time daycare so we could sit on our asses all week and then drink our juju juice on zoo day. Marcia's just sitting down with her pretzels, her soda, and her dog. 1. Wow, you guys. You made it through zoo day without some juju? Exactly, Nina. No pictures. Isn't that interesting? No pictures. So was that just a marketing video that morning? Were the kids already in daycare full time? If they felt Chris needed to write that letter, I think one thing you might want to think about is I don't think that Ronnie and Cindy knew about any letter. I think that was something between him and his sister, wasn't it? Exactly, Star Mama. Exactly. That's what our hips were built for. Carrying those babies, carting those babies around. Dean says, if this did not come up at the trial, then Chris Watts should have got himself another attorney, mitigating circumstances perhaps if true. In my opinion, he should have gone all out for the battered spouse defense. Except actually, I take that back. I think he should have just told the truth about whatever it was that happened. Here's the thing, though. I don't think he was emotionally or psychologically equipped to tell yet what happened. If he did hurt anybody, which you guys know my opinion on that, right? If he did hurt anybody, if he actually did kill his wife, then he should have gone for the battered spouse defense. If he didn't hurt anybody, then he should have sat there and told the truth about what happened. Hey, you guys, you want to pick a name for the list of 100 real men? I was going to try to start downloading photos and stuff, and I thought, I don't even know what we're calling that list. You want to throw some ideas out there? We can talk about it. And pick a name, any name that you guys think sounds good. Dean says, yes, but CW admitted to killing the children. Which time, Dean? Because one time he didn't. One time he insisted that his wife killed the children. Oh, wait, he's a liar, right? Alicia says his parents gave the letter to L.E. Well, maybe they did, but I don't think they knew about the letter until after the tragedy. I think it was his sister who knew about the letter. On the lake, George Clooney. Did we put George Clooney on the list? I think we did. I don't mean names for the list. We already have the list. I just mean the title of the list. Like what we should call it, the list. Sharon's saying Colin something, and I don't even know who that is. That's probably why I didn't mention him. Sharon, we don't use names. We just use initials. Ray's laughing at Juju. Oh, Firth? Yes. I didn't know that first name. Firth, yes. Yeah, but I didn't think of him. Oh, company. Yep, company's pulling in the driveway. Sorry, guys. But I'm going to hop off. And we'll pick this up either later tonight or tomorrow. I'll hop on again. My dog's going to start barking, I think. Are you going to start barking? Are you going to start barking? Can you hear the dog? Okay, everyone, have a great night. Have some fun tonight. And we'll talk again soon. Glad you came. Everyone, be safe, be healthy, be happy, and know that you are loved.